بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم. We were discussing I told you inshallah this is the period Mishkat 1 where we will do from Hidaayah 1 we will do from Kitab al-Tahara, but before that we're doing a bit of introduction to fiqh. And then we mentioned to you yesterday one of the unique features about the Hanafi madhab is that it is not the madhab of one particular person. It is the effort, collective effort of a whole jama'at. Maybe if we don't do here, maybe in the iftar you'll do, and we discuss it. But Imam Hanifa used to have a whole panel of people. Sometimes he would have a panel of 40 people around him. And before he would enter any type of masla, etc., because you have the consensus. So from all the Imams, Imam Abu Hanifa and his student Imam Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad rahimahullah ta'ala, Imam Abu Hanifa was the most cautious. He was the most cautious in his approach. And here, interesting point, why was he so cautious? Obviously, maybe by nature, he was a cautious person. He was an imam of fiqh, etc., etc. But like we mentioned yesterday, he was the first person. He was the first person to formally compile fiqh. He was the first person. So normally when you do something for the first time, all eyes is on you. All eyes is on you. So then you are extra careful. You see what I'm saying? Then you want to do something new. Like you coming with something new. People are going to be very apprehensive about what you're doing. People are going to be very critical of what you're doing. What is this new thing this person coming out with? And they're going to be waiting like hawks. They want to see what mistake you're making. You're going to wait. So remember we told you Imam Hanifa was from amongst the early fuqaha. So he was especially careful that he don't want to, make a mistake. People can point fingers at him. So I will tell you, he was the first one who compiled usul fiqh and also fiqh. So that people don't point fingers at him, he was especially careful. To such an extent that Imam Abu Hanifa was so careful, it is mentioned that many times even there was maybe clear fatwa of the tabi'in. You know the tabi'in? The tabi'in are those people that saw the Sahaba Ikram. So sometimes there were clear fatwa of the tabi'in that gave permissibility for something. But despite that, you would go for caution. You would err on the side of caution. And just an extra thing I want to tell you here now, with regards to usul iftar, you see, because ibadat is such an important thing. I mean that وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. You have not been created except to worship Allah Ta'ala. So that is the main purpose of our creation. So for that reason, you see most of the time in the Hanafi madhab, ibadat fatwa is given on Imam Hanifa's call because it has the most caution. And obviously your ibadah is the most important thing in your life. So it requires the most caution. So this is now from usul iftar. I'm telling you, you will find that in the Hanafi madhab, mostly fatwa is given on Imam Hanifa's call and ibadat, right? But despite, now this is how we are supposed to be in life. Despite his extreme caution, he did not hesitate to embrace the opinion of his main students, Hazrat Imam Abu Yusuf rahimahullah ta'ala, and the opinion of Imam Muhammad rahimahullah ta'ala. He was ready to accept, and he was ready to accept the opinion, and he was ready to embrace the opinion. Are you with me? And that is why he allowed it to be compiled as part of his madhab as well. So this is how we are supposed to be. That with yourself, you are the most strict. But do not enforce your strictness on other people. If there is scope, then you allow for them, right? So now, the next discussion I want to touch with you is a very interesting discussion. You know, people say, look here, why do you have to follow an imam? Yes, the Quran is there, the hadith is there. We can follow the Quran, we follow the hadith, we follow Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why must we follow a imam? Why must we follow an imam, right? So in theory, this sounds like a very rosy thing. In theory, this sounds like a very nice thing. But let us deep dive into this. Let us dive into this. And let us and try to understand what is fiqh. What is fiqh all about? See, in the time of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was pretty simple, it was pretty easy, it was pretty straightforward. You know, you go to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you ask him what you need to know, right? Nabi sallam would guide him with regards to the Quran. Nabi sallam with regards to the hadith, etc. And they knew what to do, right? So as long as Nabi sallam was there, he was the marja', he was the point of reference. People would go to them and ask him whatever they needed to know, right? So that was pretty simple. And then sometimes when they were outside the presence of Nabi Sallallahu, maybe they were on safar or whatever, and Nabi Sallallahu was not accessible, they would then apply their own minds. And then when they came back, they would ask Nabi Sallallahu, Nabi Sallallahu either endorse or reject what they done. So that was pretty straightforward, right? So that's what I'm saying. So there was no like so need to say for fiqh at that point in time, because you got Sahib Sharia in front of you. You got the person of the Sharia in front of you. There's no need for you to apply your own mind unless, right, you're on safar or something like that, right? Now, this idea of applying your own mind when you do not have clear text, this is clearly proven from a hadith. You done this hadith in Usul al-Shashi. Remember the hadith of Mu'az radiallahu ta'ala. When Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent Mu'az to Yemen, he said, Bima taqdi ya Mu'az, what will you do? Make your decision بالقرآن والسنة فإن لم تجد أجتهد برأيي. If I don't find something in the Quran, if I don't find something in the Sunnah, then I will apply my own mind. Then Nabi Sam said, Alhamdulillah, waffaqa Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All praise to Allah Ta'ala, the one who has guided the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala, rather Rasul endorsed in saying that if I can't find the Quran, if I can't find in the Hadith, or if I can't find from the other senior Sahaba Ikram, I will apply my own mind. Right? So like I told you, you said alcohol is haram because it intoxicates the mind. So that means by extension, any other intoxicant, heroin, crack, whatever, it all is also supposed to be haram because it also intoxicates the mind, right? So there we got the proof to say that you will apply your mind. In fact, yeah, Nabi Sallallahu was so happy. He put his hand on the chest of his Mu'az. Alhamdulillah, wafaqa Rasulullah bima yarda. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I was telling you, as long as Nabi Sallallahu was there was no doubt. This Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى الله ورسوله إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر. That if you doubt in something, then فَرُدُّوا إِلَى الله. Present it to Allah. What does it mean present to Allah? Present it to the Quran. وَرَسُولِهِ. If Rasul is there, you ask Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If he's not there, you present it to the Hadith, right? In kuntum tu'minuna billah, if you believe in Allah Ta'ala. وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, right? So that we're saying quite clear, while the Rasul is around, you'll follow him, right? See? Yeah, okay, we'll come to that. Okay, we'll come to that, inshallah. That's a different discussion. There's something called talfiq bain al-mazahib. that if it's permissible for them, now that means if you're going to choose from what he's saying. Then you're going to choose from the Maliki madhab. Then you're going to choose from the Hanafi madhab. At the end of the day, what are you going to be following? Are you going to be following what is correct? Or are you going to be following what is convenient for you? You're going to be following your nafs. That's what we call madhab hopping. Falling from the one madhab to another madhab without a valid excuse. Yes, there are times when there's a valid excuse where you take from the other madhab, but you don't do that. The ulama take from the other madhab. That's in its place. We will discuss that at a later stage. There are places where the Hanafi madhab has borrowed from the other madhab, like when you annul a marriage, when the husband goes missing. The Hanafi madhab say you must wait 99 years. Imagine you tell a young woman to wait 99 years, what will happen? So, yeah, we take from the other madhab, etc. But that is done by a whole jamaat of ulama that borrows from another madhab. But we'll discuss it. But as I said, imagine now, I want to follow here the Hanafi, they want to follow the Shafi, they want to follow Maliki, they want to follow Zahiri. The Zahiri madhab says when you go for a proposal, you can see the girl's thighs also. So you see, now today I'm a Zahiri. So what will happen? You're going to be making a fool. That is why, if you look at all the deviant groups, like you get, the Qadianis, the first step of their deviance was when they left the madhab and they thought they can extract directly from the Quran and Hadith. If you look at every deviant group, you will find that the first step of the deviance was when they unbride themselves from taqleed, when they started following their own self. So we're saying as long as Rasul was around, then people went to Rasul and asked him. When Nabi Sallallahu passed away, then his senior Sahaba Ikram, obviously they transmitted what they heard from Rasulullah from the Quran, the Hadith. If you look at the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were embodiments of the teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? لقد كان لكم في رسول أسوة حسنة. So they were a reflection of this, of what Rasulullah sallallahu was, and they gave this off. They were such, they wouldn't tolerate to see even the minutest teachings of Rasulullah sallallahu being lost or being abandoned. That is why they discharged this mission to the best of their ability. But now remember, Medina was what we call an agrarian society. People lived simple lives. They lived off the land. But now in the time of, especially as the Umar radiallahu ta'ala, when Islam was spreading to Rome, right, to the Roman lands, to the Persian lands, Islam was spreading to Sham and all those places. Here now, the society was different. They had different ways of living. They had different ways of doing business. They had different habits. And because life in Medina was simple, it was an agrarian society. So a lot of things Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't pronounce on, understand. So now the Sahaba that was sent. So as Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he dispatched the Sahaba Ikram to the different portions of the Muslim world. And there's a statement with regards to Hazrat Ibn Mas'ud. He said, I would have liked to keep by me, but I give preference to you, all the people of Kufa, or myself, because I know you need him more than me. I know you people need him. I also need him because I'm the Khalifa. But because now this new Messiah coming up, you need him more than me, so I will sacrifice him and I will send him to you. I will send him to you. So because Islam started spreading to different lands, to the different ways of doing business, different ways of living, etc. So now it was necessary that these new scenarios be unraveled, they be understood in light of the guidance that was given by Nabi Sallallahu, in light of the Quran and Hadith. All of this had to be understood. Are you with me? All of us need to be understood, right? And this is what Mu'adh said, Ajtahidu bi ra'yi. And the other people that were profound, as Umar, as Ali, as Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, as Abdullah ibn Umar, as Abdullah ibn Abbas, as Zayd bin Thabit, as Aisha Siddiqa, as Ubay ibn Ka'ab. These are the names that were, you can say, outstanding with regards to the ability of unraveling new situations. Imam Nawawi, the giant in the Shafi madhab. You know, like in the Hanafi madhab, you get Imam Hanifa, and immediately his companions was Imam Yusuf and Imam Muhammad. But Imam Nawawi was also giant in the Shafi madhab. In fact, after Imam Shafi, he was the greatest, but he came a while after Imam Shafi. So second was Imam the Shafi was Imam Nawawi in the Shafi madhab. So Imam Shafi says, sorry, Imam Nawawi, he quotes this from Masruq. He says, if you look at the ulum of all the Sahaba Ikram, it all goes back to six people. As Umar, as Ali, as Ubay ibn Ka'b, as Zayd bin Sabit, Abu Darda, and Ibn Mas'ud. And then even if you look at these six people, you see, you can narrow it down further. It all can boil down to the knowledge of Hazrat Ali, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, goes to them. So you follow now. In the time of the Nabi, some people turned to him. If they were away from the Nabi, they would apply their own minds and would come back. And inshallah, when we do the hadith, you see the Nabi would either endorse or reject what they're saying. Right? After the Nabi passed away, you had these Sahaba Ikram that were known. Look, all of the Sahaba Ikram, they were, you know, they were paragons of knowledge. But like even in the madrasa now, you know, you got a lot of students in the madrasa. But you know, some guys are more sharper. You need to know something, I'll go to that person. Although all are students of deen, all are students of deen, but some of them are more sharper than others. So you know, okay, this is a very bright student, the diligent student. He's good in fiqh. I got a question, I'll go to him. So same thing, exact same thing. In the time of the Sahaba Ikram, there were certain Sahaba Ikram, Allah Ta'ala blessed them with faqahat, their jurisprudence. Even amongst the Sahaba Ikram, they were known that these are the outstanding ones. You know, I got a question, I can ask them. You understand what I'm saying? So these same people, after the demise of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, they were the outstanding stalwarts by which people went to, they asked. And I was telling you all the new scenarios that were now arising, all the new scenarios that were arising, they were making what, as Mu'adh spoke about, proven from the hadith, ajtahidu bi ra'i, not pocket fatwa, so to say. You understood? So I was telling you, so the person who dispatched all the Sahaba Ikram out to the different lands was actually Hazrat Umar. Hazrat Umar established a big city in Kufa. So you're saying every Sahabi was like an ocean in his own right. And uh, Kufa, which was one of the big cities established by Hazrat Imam Abu Hanifa, because it had a great Sahabi like Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. And by the way, not because we are the Hanafis, we're showing off. If you look at if there's ikhtilaf amongst the Sahaba Ikram, most of the time you see that the Hanafis, they go with the opinion of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and Hazrat Ali radiallahu ta'ala. Now, as Abdullah ibn Mas'ud went to Kufa, and this is where he established himself. And he was such a great faqih. Remember, Remember when Abdullah ibn Mas'ud was climbing up the tree, he was a small person, slight person. He had 10 calves. Remember, Sahaba Ikram were laughing at his calves. So Nabi Sallam said, if you only know how weighty these calves will be on the day of Qiyamah, you won't be laughing at him. So he was small in stature, small in size, but he was a giant in fiqh. So anyway, he went to Kufa, and with his great knowledge, he established Kufa, became famous for knowledge. And that is where our Imam come from Kufa. So Kufa was a center of jurisprudence, because you teach yourself, okay, Islam started in Medina. Isn't Medina supposed to be a center? No. As Umar sent as Abdullah ibn Mas'ud to Kufa, and he established the thing there. Now, Bada'i Sana is one of the main books if you want to be a mufti, where they teach you all the usul also. It's mentioned in the Muqaddimah, in the introduction there, it's mentioned At that point in time, out of all the cities in the Muslim world, the ones who had made the most progress in fiqh, when you say in fiqh, I mean to unravel a masail, like new masail. Like one is just the transmission of the hadith, but in the unraveling of the new masail, unraveling new, what you call it, right? He said it was unanimous that Kufa is ahead of the rest. Are you with me? And like it was a famous saying at that point in time, fiqhun kufiyun wa ibadatun musriyun. That fiqh from fiqh and ibadat from Egypt. That the Egyptians were known for the great deal of ibadat, and the Kufis were known for the great fiqh, the deep understanding of Islamic knowledge through Ibn Mas'ud. And they say, yeah, if you study the fiqh of Kufa, all the students, the chains go up to these Sahaba, yeah, I'll tell you. It goes up to Hazrat Umar, Hazrat Ali, Hazrat Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. I remember I was telling you the Hanafi fiqh is from Kufa, and I told you we go to Hazrat Ali, right? That is why I was telling you, like the broader aspects, if you look at the Hanafi madhab, if you look at the chain of Hazrat Abu Hanifa, his hadith and everything, it goes up to, I was telling you there, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. So yes, mentioned in the 20th year after Hijri, when Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala was made the Khalifa, right? He sent Hazrat Abdullah ibn Mas'ud to Kufa. So Kufa was like, it was like the new capital of the city, the frontier town. And this is where all the activity was taking place. That is why as Umar thought there's more need for him to be there than anywhere else. And he said, so at the request of the Khalifa of the time, and upon the instruction of the Khalifa of the time, as Ibn Masud acceded to his request, and he went to Kufa, and then he fulfilled this mandate to the best of his duty, conveying the message of Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and extrapolating, etc., etc., laying the foundation actually for the Hanafi madhab, actually laying the foundation for the Hanafi madhab. So I was telling you, like how places get famous for some place. Places become famous for certain things. This place they got nice food. This place they got nice accommodation. This place got nice this. At that point in time, Kufa was famed. It was fabled for its fiqh. If you want fiqh, you want to become a faqih, you must go to Kufa. And it was through the barakat of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud. It's mentioned here. So remember, Ibn Mas'ud already went in the time of who? Of Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. After Hazrat Umar was Uthman, was Ali. So it's mentioned here when Hazrat Ali as the Khalifa, when eventually was elected the Khalifa, and he came to Kufa, then a huge group of ulama came out to meet Hazrat Ali. And when Ali saw them, he saw all the ulama. This is the dua he made. Rahimallahu Ibn Abdin, as Ibn Mas'ud was also Ibn, right? Rahimallahu Ibn Abdin, قد ملأ هذه القرية ilma subhanallah. He said, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy upon Ibn Abd, Ibn Mas'ud. قد ملأ هذا القرية ilma. He's filled this whole town with knowledge. There's so much effort. One man, so much effort he made that he filled this whole town with knowledge. The time is up. We'll stop there. we'll continue a bit. So another few days, just a bit of introduction, and then from there we'll start the actual kitab, inshallah. By going over the stuff, you appreciate what fiqh is about, how much effort went into it, how the Sahaba Ikram, the Tabi'een, what effort they made. And I tell you, obviously, people tell you, why must you follow a madhab? Why? You just follow the Quran and Hadith. But the Quran and Hadith is there, everything, but it doesn't cover everything. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, but more about later. But subhanAllah.